So this is Dr. Foster's half somersault maneuver, and it's to help people who are suffering from positional vertigo. So sometimes people, or quite often actually, I've had quite a few people in class recently who have reported having spinning and feeling unbalanced, slight nausea sometimes the nausea can be quite severe, and this maneuver is one that I've worked with some of my clients, and they found it very helpful. So I'm just going to demonstrate the maneuver. It's very simple, but what I would say before I begin is that each posture that you come into, you will need to hold until the dizziness subsides, or for 30 seconds at least. And the other thing that I want to warn you about is that you might feel quite nauseous after the practice, and therefore possibly a good idea to practice this when you're not going out anywhere, where you haven't got a busy day, so that you can just stay at home for at least half an hour or an hour after the practice. And you may have to repeat these maneuvers several times. I have worked with 2 people who found that all they needed was to do this twice in one session, and they've not had to repeat it again, and things have been better for them. It may not work for everyone, and there are other techniques that are available, but this one is certainly one that I've worked with and that has been useful to people. So sitting on your heels, this is Vajrasana in yoga, and we're nice and upright. If your neck is at all compromised, you may want to just bring your arms up and support the back of your neck, because we're going to start by looking up towards the ceiling. So we want to make sure that the neck's nice and safe, and just holding that, just looking up towards the ceiling with the head rolled back slightly. And waiting. And from here, quite quickly, we're going to come down onto the top of the head. So the hands are either side there, and the elbows out to the side. Now, depending on the side that you're experiencing the vertigo on, you're going to turn your head towards that elbow. So you're going to look at that elbow. It doesn't matter how far you turn the head, your chin's tucked right in and you're looking at that elbow. So either right side or left side, depending on the side that you experience the vertigo in when you lie down. So again, waiting for the spinning to subside, or for 30 seconds, and then keeping the head turned, coming up onto all fours, and still looking towards that elbow, towards that arm, the head still turned, and again you're just waiting for that spinning to subside, or for 30 seconds to pass. And then we're going to sit back up quite quickly, but keep the head in the same position. Again, just waiting. And then bring your head back to center, and at least give yourself 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes before you try that again, because you may experience nausea and dizziness after that practice. So it's quite simple, quite straightforward, and that is the half somersault maneuver. There's one more thing that we do in yoga when we're experiencing dizziness, and this is more universal, so this could apply to other forms of dizziness that you're working with. And we just sit, you could sit on a chair if you wanted to, and we're working with vision for this particular practice. And we're going to bring the index finger out in front of us and really direct our gaze at that index finger. So we begin by moving the eyes away from the finger to the right, right into the peripheral vision to the right side and back, and then to the left side and back, to the right and back, to the left and back. And we do this up to 10 times slowly, moving the eyes always back to the finger, always directing the gaze. And then after 10 rounds, we're going to keep the gaze on the tip of the finger, but turn the head. So I'm still looking at my fingertip, but I'm turning my head, and I'm coming back, turning my head, still looking at that finger and coming back. So again, 10 times, moving the head, but keeping the gaze on that fingertip. So when you've completed your 10 rounds, you can slowly bring the finger in towards the tip of your nose and try and keep your gaze there. So you're going to feel like you're quite cross-eyed, and hold that for a moment. And then we'll come back out again. And next time round, we're going to tilt the head to one side, again to the side, whichever side you're experiencing the vertigo on. And this time, look up and back to the finger, look up and back to the finger. I'm turning my head slightly, but I'm not meaning to. I'm just moving my gaze up and back to the finger. My head's tilted to the side that I experienced the vertigo on, and back to the finger. Okay, 10 rounds like that. Okay, and then the next practice is everything the same but a little bit faster. So to start with, eyes to the right, back, left, back, right, back, left, back, right, back, left, back. And second round would be keeping the gaze on the fingertip, right, left. So just moving the head but keeping the gaze on that fingertip. Okay, so a little bit faster. If you start to feel really dizzy, you can stop. Okay, and then bringing the finger in towards the nose. So you don't have to repeat the third one rapidly. That's just one that you do slowly, and holding that gaze there. To complete this practice in yoga, when we're working with the eyes, we always do palming. So we rub the palms together until you feel, because you're creating friction in the palms, so eventually you'll feel some warmth coming into your palms. When you feel that warmth, you can cover your eyes, and opening the eyes, just gaze into the darkness. So make sure the fingers are closed so there's no little gaps of light coming in. You're resting the eyes in the darkness, but absorbing the heat from the palms, absorbing the energy that you've created by rubbing the hands together. That friction creates an energy that the eyes can absorb as they rest in the darkness. And you can hold that for 30 seconds and then bring your hands down, and that's a complete practice in terms of managing positional vertigo. Good, thank you.